Okay, let's get started there, folks. There we go. We are back. We're going to be doing some Pega today for this 2 p.m. PST Twitch stream. I'm your host, Strangebird Jim. And we're going to be studying the module Managing Application Development. Um, so, um, there was no code session yesterday, um, there wasn't anything concerning Pega yesterday. So if you're trying to wonder why was there a day skipped, well, that was why. I had my anniversary yesterday, um, so I just wanted to play a game, have fun. So that's what I did. You can see I did about like 2 videos worth. I mean, technically, I did it like a total of 3 videos if you do the 4 hour bit, but um, I didn't really split it up very well, so they're like both 6 hour videos. So be prepared for that. Um, but obviously, those of you that are watching on YouTube, um, this is where I'm covering, the everything that I can do to earn the system architect certification. I have not gotten that yet. I attempted the certification once, but wasn't able to get enough questions correct to to you know to get the minimum, which was unfortunate. Um, but this is my attempt to try to resolve that or fix that mistake that I made. And the fact that I didn't try to resolve it, you know, during my year of employment, for example. Now, um, as I said in the past, would have been fantastic if there was something like established at my job to kind of um, help along those lines. Um, actually give like a mentor and basically say, okay, hey, you haven't gotten your certification. Let's go through everything that you know and let's work on that. That would have been fantastic, but there wasn't anything, or at least they didn't provide that for me. Um, but I mean, it basically falls on my shoulders that I didn't take the time to do the studying that I needed to do to get it. So at the very end, the buck stops at me. Okay, I could have corrected it, I could have fixed it, but I didn't. So um, now, um, these videos, these streams are not endorsed by Pega. I want to say that up front. So if you feel like I'm getting like some kind of benefit from them or anything along those lines, I'm not. You don't have to worry about that. Um, I'm being, in a sense, very critical of, what I'm seeing, on um, their questions, on their topics, and so on and so forth. So, and uh, I'm kind of thankful that they're actually having some reviewers modify their articles you know, to change or to, basically incorporate the suggestions. Um, you know, for example, I made a suggestion the other day about the fact that, um, just doing a copy and pasting of the email message did not actually transfer the um, the code itself didn't seem like it was taking the or like the um, it wasn't like scanning the body for actual linkage with the text there. So they adjusted the note on that to reflect the fact that you do need to you know highlight the you know that particular portion of the you know that variable name basically and state um, this is the property. So um, yeah, not endorsed by Pega. I'm working on my system architect certification. We are also going to be taking some time to go over the business architect because there's two modules. After um, the uh, low code app builder extended portion, this mission that we are going through right now, there's two modules after that for business that are not included in the system architect. So that's why we're going to cover those for those of you that are working towards your business architect. So, but I will state this, okay? Um, you know, I am not a, you know, I'm not an authorized training partner, so don't consider me as such. You know, there is instructor-led training that I do recommend if you can afford it. Okay. Um, as I, pointed out, instructor-led training can be expensive. Okay. But if you have a really good instructor that knows what they're talking about, that can help you learn everything about Pega, then obviously it would be worth it because once you get that certification, that's that helps you get that foot in the door in any business that you apply to, basically saying, hey, I have this certification. I have this system architect, I have this business architect certification. I want to join your company, you know, so that I may, continue growing. Okay. So, um, but like I said, I'm not a don't consider me instructor. Don't consider me, someone that is all knowing or uh, extremely knowledgeable about Pega because I'm not. Um, there are some topics that I'm still struggling with, and I would love to have anyone review my past videos and maybe address some of the questions that I was having. Maybe I was dealing with some confusion. Most, you know, I don't know. There was definitely some modules that I was like, going, I'm not really understanding this very well. So, um, you know, I might be just like asking for someone to go in there and go, okay, what they're saying is correct. Maybe view it like this. You know, sometimes it's just a tiny different perspective, change in perspective to help someone understand, right? So, um, okay, so, um, uh, yeah, I think that is about it. So let's go ahead and get into the managing application development. Okay, so there are three topics in this one, and then of course a module quiz at the very end. We'll see if we can get through. Well, I mean, the first one we'll get through. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to the second one, but we'll see. Okay, so the Agile Workbench. It is a software tool used in a Pega platform project for stakeholders and team members to track feature development and capture real-time project feedback. Agile Workbench supports directly capturing objectives, DCO, and agile development. By managing application feedback and development status directly in Agile Workbench, application development is more efficient. The following image shows Agile Workbench icon in App Studio. Ta-da! Okay, so obviously directly capturing objectives, DCO is, you know, I mean, they don't normally state that unless, it's something important. So try to remember that. Okay, work items. Work items become the backlog of development work. In Agile Workbench, you create three kinds of work items. User stories, to describe business requirements. The majority of development work consists of user stories. To save time, upload user stories from Excel. Bugs, to document feature defects. Developers typically address major bugs before minor ones. Mm, Uh, maybe. It depends, you know, um, one, it depends on how quickly you can get, like, you can fix some major ones versus the minor ones, right? Um, Obviously, the major ones are key. You want to get those done. But maybe it's something like, hey, you can do this in 2 minutes. Bam, done. Minor one's done. Get it out of there. Or something along those lines. Um, so, feedback. Items to record enhancement requests identified during playback sessions. Developers use feedback to guide development on current or future releases. To upload user stories, see populating story templates. To learn more about documenting a bug in Agile Workbench, see creating bugs to report feature defects. So obviously, you're going to want to review both of these web pages to see more about these. Um, Now, while this, you know, um, while I did use this for, for training, I never used it on the job. We never went through the Agile Workbench at the place that I worked. Um, they didn't really use it. Now, you can see about having them, you can see if the company can try to use it, but um, but sometimes if they're like already established in like using um, other agile tools or something like that, then be it might be like double the work to try to do both. You know, try to keep with their old system and try to use the Pega's agile development. So just kind of bear that in mind. Now, um, one of the one of the positives of doing the Agile Workbench through Pega is the fact that it's Pega based. So I mean, everything that you see and do there applies directly, you know. So, um, so you can, you know, look in on, those particular stories, those particular bugs, that feedback, so on and so forth. You have direct ties to the application itself. So, yeah. The application profile provides up-to-date view of the work items, features, and their status in your application. Okay, so features and subfeatures. You can associate work items with features or subfeatures. Features are capabilities that you want your application to support. Subfeatures are features within a feature. When you create a new case type in your application, Pega platform automatically creates a feature with the same name. For example, you associate the Office drop-down missing options bug with the onboarding feature because you encountered the bug in the onboarding case type. To learn more about managing and documenting the features that you implement, see Managing Application Features. There's a lot of going to other web pages on there, and it's like, I mean, this is the third website already. It's like, include us in the Agile Workbench. If it's so, I mean, if you're making a note of it, then add it into the module. I don't know. Every work item has a status of to do, doing, or done. You can change the status of a work item by dragging the card to the appropriate column or using the status list on the work item itself. Agile Workbench navigation. In the following image, click the plus icons to learn more about Agile Workbench navigation. So there's a lot here. But um, all right, I'll just try to go one by one here. Change work item status. Click on the icon to the left of the work item to either reject the item, change its status to doing, or change its status to done. So when you click on it, it'll bring up those 3 items there. But one would say that you're already these without the doing status there, um, the 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 items are automatically in the to do idea there. So create a new feature. In the application profile, click the add icon to create a new feature. For each new case type you create, Pega platform automatically creates a feature with the same name. So any case type gets to you an automatic new feature. So you shouldn't necessarily need to worry about adding a new feature if you have a new case type. But maybe you want to maybe expand upon um, the case type without necessarily um, well, um, maybe you need to add something that's not necessarily a case type directly, um, but you still want to add it so that it can basically be used by like one of the case types or something like that. So not strictly a case type, but something used by it. You know, so hence you might want to create like a new feature along those lines, maybe. View stories, bugs, and feedback. Click stories, bugs, or feedback up there right at the top to view the user stories, bugs, and feedback items in your application. From this view, you can see the name of the bug, its identification number, for example, bug 1001, the creation date of the bug, and its priority. Well, I mean, that's all well and good. You're kind of explaining the bug, but what about, stories and feedback? Same kind of deal. You see the name of the story, the identification number of the story, the creation date of the story, and the priority of the story. You know, find an existing story, bug, or feedback item. Use the search option to find an existing work item. So if you have like a full list of stories and bugs and feedback that you need to work on, then you can use the search to try to find it. List existing stories, bugs, or feedback items by feature. Okay. Use the list by feature list to select a feature defined in your application. Selection of a feature refreshes the list of work items to show only items associated with the selected feature. Hmm. Okay. Filter existing stories, bugs, or feedback items. Use the filter work items icon to filter work items by owner. You can show work items that are resolved, which filters out work items that are in progress, or show items that are created by you, filtering out items that were created by other users. Additionally, you can filter out unassigned work items. Hmm. Okay. Sort existing stories, bugs, and feedback items. Use the sort work items icon to sort work items by priority, which is the default selection, update date, or due date. Okay. Create a story, bug, or feedback item. Click the add icon to create a new story, bug, or feedback item. Additionally, you have the option to create user stories by downloading the Excel template and importing the Excel file with the user story information. And then this one here, view the menu. Click the menu icon to view the application profile and refresh Agile Workbench. And then you have this one right down here. Use the record and screen capture to create a work. Um, um, let me make a suggestion here because the titles aren't fitting. And the image for the titles are again running out of room, not fitting within the window itself. You mentioned that there isn't a way to um, word wrap title. So I would imagine that you would want to shorten the title or move it to the body with a shorter title altogether. Because this use record and screen capture to create a work it what? um, use the record video or capture screen options to capture a video or image of the application, which is attached to the new work item. All right. Agile Workbench use case. In a typical scenario using Agile Workbench, you demonstrate or play back each feature of a case type with the business stakeholders and product owners. For example, you walk through a customer refund case type to ensure that you have not missed any steps in your business customer refund process. If anyone identifies changes to make during the playback session, you record those as bugs, feedback, or enhancements in Agile Workbench. For example, the following image shows an onboarding case type on the left. You notice that the office list does not have any options to select. In Agile Workbench, you document a bug to be fixed, as shown on the right. Okay. Agile Workbench integration. Agile Workbench interfaces with Agile Studio, a separate Pega platform tool that expands the Agile Workbench functionality with more robust features for release management, progress tracking, team capacity, and analytics. Agile Workbench also interfaces with external tools such as Jira or CA Agile Central. The integration abilities of Agile Workbench allows customers to leverage the benefits of DCO. They really should have used that a little bit more. DCO, directly capturing objectives. Um, leveraging the benefits of directly I just said it. Directly capturing objectives. Directly capturing objectives. Directly capturing objectives. Directly capturing objectives while using their existing infrastructure. Directly capturing objectives. Check your knowledge with the following interaction. How does Agile Workbench support Agile development? Agile Workbench provides the ability to plan team capacity? Not really. Agile Workbench provides the ability to create steps? Nope. Agile Workbench provides the ability to create prototype workflows? Not really, no. Um, I mean, this is probably the best one out of the bunch. Yeah. What threw me off was the new work item creation. Um, but I mean, it does, just um, I mean, yeah, doesn't really, it didn't really state that before, so it's like, um, that's what kind of threw me off with that. It's like, I didn't really read that before. Hmm. Let's see. Um, in the quiz at the end, I was concerned about the answer because all uh, Agile Workbench implies that you can have new work item creation. It doesn't outright state it within the topic itself. Um, in a search in the web page for new work and creation, but it only pointed to the answer for the quiz. Maybe um, talk. Maybe that topic into the paragraph at the start somehow. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Um, so this might actually be a fairly short video here because I mean, we just went over Agile Workbench, and if this next topic is indeed 20 minutes of um, yeah, there's a lot to cover here. So I'm probably gonna need to kind of cover this tomorrow. So that means that this particular video is gonna have to be shorter than normal, because I'm not gonna be able to cover release management with Pega platform today. So um, at least not within the last 20 minutes. The fact that it takes me what twice as long, if not three times as long, to handle 10 minutes. Um, I'm most likely, I'm reasonably sure that it's probably going to take me like the full hour to handle the second topic here. Um, so we'll just kind of leave it at that for now. Um, so we're going to go ahead and close on out here for that. Um, you know, Now if you're still watching me on YouTube and all that, let me know how you guys did on the low code app builder mission. It said that we had the exercise and the mission test at the very end there. Let me know how well you did on that. Um, you know, did you have to take it a couple times? Were there particular topics that you needed to kind of re-review? Um, you know, did you find the low-code app builder exercise easy? Did you kind of wish that there was more to it? Um, obviously when I went through it, when I was kind of explaining and talking about things, I had a little bit of difficulty with it because, it was timed for, what was it, like 40 minutes or something like that, and it stopped after that or something along those lines. I forget. So I had a little bit of difficulty there, but you know, let me know how you all did on that. So, um, let me know if you have any kind of questions or anything. I'll like I said, I'll try to do what I can to answer any questions that anybody might have concerning some of these topics, concerning the modules, concerning the challenges. I'll try to answer them, but um, you know, it might not. Uh, you're gonna have to consider with with a grain of salt because, like I mentioned before, I'm not an authorized trainer, so um, so I'll do what I can to help you out, but um, what I do stress is get to know their keywords, okay, and use them over and over and over again so that you are comfortable, speaking about it. Like if you can go into an interview and you know the difference, you know, uh, in the Agile Workbench versus a work group or something like that, along those lines. If they threw in like two completely different, topics, and they say, tell me the, difference between, um, you know, tell me what both of those are, then, you should be able to, explain to them, you know, ideally, right? So, now I'm not saying that, you it's not, let's face it, it's not easy to memorize like everything that's out there. Okay. Um, I don't have that good of a memory. Um, but you know, um, try to keep a lot of the details as you possibly can. Try to you know memorize the keywords and reuse them, get them kind of locked in your brain. So, but that's it. We're gonna go ahead and shut on down here. Um, so for anybody that is currently watching, or maybe you're watching this on YouTube, or for those of you that are watching right now on Twitch, I'm gonna switch this over to just chatting in just a minute. But for those of you that are watching on YouTube, um, you know, more videos like this are going to be coming along. So do the normal YouTube thing, and you know what I'm talking about. um, you know, everybody's pretty much mentioned it. So so there's really no need for me to beat a dead horse. So um, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next video. But that's going to be it for that. So um, you know, so yeah, okay, that's going to be it. So stop recording.